YouTube, we will continue with our balance work that we started last week again, and continuing with some balance and also a little bit more strength through the legs, and a little bit maybe upper body strength and a little bit of lengthening. So combining a few things together there to get us set up for our Thursday morning. Let's, as always, start off with mobilization. So spinal cord breathing, a little bit of bend in the knees, hips glide back a little bit, keeping low.
Camera's not moved.
Oh, camera's not moved, camera's not moved. Yes, it has. Has it not? Why has the camera not moved? Oh, this is weird. Camera's moved on one, but not on the Zoom one. Why is that? I know why, I know why, I know why. So keep moving if you're moving. And on Zoom, I swapped cameras yesterday because this wasn't working. So let me go to my video on Zoom and do that. Yeah! So Zoomers can watch and we can still see on Facebook and YouTube. So everybody see okay now, yeah? So I'm looking there at everybody. So bending the knees. I think everybody on Zoom is now doing, we're all doing different things. Let's do spinal cord. So breathing in and then breathing out. We'll come to knocking in a minute. That's a good start to our session. Breathing in, breathing out. Remember to keep low. It's very tempting to stand up tall when we open up here, when we extend. But keep low and get the pelvis moving. And just easy breathing. Finding your own comfortable rhythm. Remember, the movement is smooth, it's slow, it's not rushed. We never stop the movement. So just as there's a lull at the top and the bottom of a breath, it's the same with the movement. There's a lull at the top of the movement, a lull at the bottom of the movement. Combining that breath and movement together. On your next in-breath, just rotating to one side, breathing into one side, breathing back out to that side, breathing into the side, and then back out down the center. And then going to the other side, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, back to the center. And then just do that one more time each side. Again, just following your own rhythm. There's no rush on this. And if you've done that, just a couple more down the center. And then take a moment to come up to standing. Just bring your feet together a little bit. Feel the balance. And then back out to shoulder width. Now we can do a little bit of knocking. Remembering to keep that spine long, particularly through keeping the neck long as well, creating that space between the ears and the shoulders. A little bit of bend in the knees so that we're not locking the knees. Just breathing naturally in and out through the nose. And when you're ready, just shifting the weight. So if I'm shifting the weight to the left, then I'm rotating to the right. And you're just bending that knee a little bit more. The hip stays pretty parallel, the pelvis stays pretty parallel to the ground. So I'm not dropping the pelvis out side to side. I'm not dropping the hips outside to side like this. I'm just really using that weight shift and almost like putting a little bit more weight through that supporting leg structure. Still keep lifting and lengthening through the spine. And then just back to evenly balanced. And just gradually slowing it down into water waves. And go a little bit lower in the knees and the hips as you go into waterways. So really feel that spiral through the ankle, through the knees, through the hips. Really strong lower body. And light and lifted on the upper body. Lifting and lengthening the spine, softening the elbows, softening the wrists, softening the fingers, softening the shoulders. Good. And then take a moment. Again, bring your feet in. Stand tall. Feel how you've energized the spine. Got the back moving. And then stepping out again, let's just do a little bit of dog wags the tail. So imagine you've got a tail coming from your tailbone, shifting side to side. Again, that pelvis stays parallel to the ground. Again, we have that sense of being strong through the lower body. And then just freeing up the spine. And work from the tailbone upwards. So feel that movement through the lower back. And then the mid back. You still need to keep tall, so keep tall through the upper back. That's where we can get a little bit stuck here. So see if you can free up that upper back a little bit more. And then just gently let that head and neck move side to side. Not forcing, not giving yourself whiplash. Shoulders stay relaxed. Good, and slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. Excellent. Keeping your feet shoulder width apart, a little bit more lengthening, a little bit more stretching now. One palm facing down. Connecting, thinking of connecting to the ground, to the earth, and then the other palm facing up, connecting to the sky. So feel now that movement, that hip and rib space a little bit more there, and feel the ribs extending through the side of the body there. And keeping the elbow soft. So it's easy to hike the shoulder up and keep the arm strong, but keep that elbow soft and feel that movement, that elasticity through the rib cage. And then swap sides. So you spiral little finger to little finger, and then hands down, one palm up. Feel that movement through the rib cage. And again, the movement continues. It's that lull at the top as you breathe in, and then you breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So when you cross in the middle, then you're starting to breathe in. Breathing out. Stretching out the hands, stretching out the fingers as well. Stretching out the palm of the hand. The basic concept of, one of the basic principles of qigong is that connection to earth and connection to sky. It works with every single movement you make, nice and strong and connected to the ground, but also lengthened and lifted through the crown of the head and connected to the sky. That keeps the back strong but flexible. Let's do a couple more. And then take a rest. Maybe shake your legs out a little bit, 'cause remember the lower body is working, so even though we're just standing, there's a lot of what we call isometric contraction, that we're holding a position, so that lower body is working hard too there. It's really strengthening that lower body. Let's go a little bit wider on your stance now. Finding your own comfortable space. And we're just lowering the hips down. So it's not quite a squat where we're hinging back, we're just lowering down. Here's a dance one. We were talking about dance on, well, it's not really dance, but we were talking about this on the Zoom. So watch that the knees aren't dropping in, keep those knees just gliding out. Feel that nice little stretch there through the thighs, the adductor muscles. Just get that movement going, just down, breathing easy. If you start to hold the breath, if you lose control of the breath, you're pushing too much on this movement. And then we bring the arms into it. So the arms come out to the side, and here we can really stretch and push out. So I'm really putting some good tension through the arm lines. I'm stretching the fingers. Stretching out there. And once you get into the flow, breathing in and expanding, stretching, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Really stretch the fingers up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. Great if you're at a keyboard a lot of the day. Really stretch all the tendons out in the fingers, in the wrists. Keep the shoulders down, back long. Let's do a couple more. It's weird when you're doing some of these movements, is sometimes you feel you need a little bit more of one particular movement. So this is why I'm not necessarily counting reps when we're doing this stuff. And then take a rest. Walking your feet safely together. And again, you've really done a lot of work there on the lower body, so just shaking your legs out a little bit. And just stand for a moment. See how that feels. And then another nice lengthening type movement, taking your feet about shoulder width apart again, maybe just a little bit wider. This time we do go into like a squat, squatting down a little bit. It's like scooping up from the ground and then lifting up the sky. Now this is really, again, you can stretch out those arm lines and stretch out the fingers there, stretch out as you come down from the side. So it's a bit similar to Buddha holds up the earth, but we are deliberately putting a little bit more tension in a good way through the arms, lifting out through the side, nice lengthening and stretching, and then find your flow. It's like a really nice morning stretch. If you can get a little bit lower in the squat, that's great, no worries if not. As always, it's not about forcing or pushing. It's about going to your own comfortable range of movement. You can challenge yourself a little bit, but it's not about hurting yourself. And we know that if the breath is easy, controlled, then you know you're in that right range of movement. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Let's do a couple more. Lovely morning stretch. Good. And take a rest. Walk your feet back in. A little bit of a shake out. Maybe have a little bit of shake of the wrists and the arms. And then just stand for a moment. Again, just checking in with the body, where you maybe feel tingling, where you've maybe unblocked any tightness and tension in the shoulders, or in the arms, or in the hips. And then stepping back out, let's do a little bit of balance. Start off with the arms. So let's do a little bit of flying. Breathing in, breathing out. So just keeping nice and stable on the ground. Feel the feet connected to the ground. Feel grounded, stable, strong through the lower body. And then at the same time you can feel light and lifted through that upper body. And it's not about forcing that strength, so it's not as if we're gripping the toes or pushing ourselves into the ground, but just have that real sense of being rooted and balanced and strong. I had a really interesting, simple question yesterday when I was with a client running, and it was like, I don't know whether I feel strong when I'm running. And it was like, that's a good one, because do we need to feel strong as in tight and everything really hard? Or what's the difference between feeling strong and feeling powerful? We had this conversation about who knows what the other person is feeling. So I'm strong in the shoulders, but I'm not strong in the core. And it's like, well, what does that mean? How do we need to be strong in the core? Do we need to be tightening, over tightening? 'Cause it's interesting what strength means to different people. And I think it's that combination, as we always say with the qigong practice and all the movements that we do, it's that combination of strength and softness, strength and flexibility. And just before we all fly away, let's do a little bit of weight shift. I'll mirror you, so I'm just going to shift the weight to your left, and you just peel that right heel off the ground. And then back to center, shift to the right, peel the left hip, heel, not hip, you could peel the hip off the ground. So you're shifting about 80% of the weight onto that support side, and you're just literally stabilizing, balancing. Breathing in, standing tall on that left leg, and through the left side of the body, breathing out. And then breathing in, standing tall on that right side of the body. And we can either stay doing this, or if you're feeling confident, you can shift the weight and raise the opposite knee. And then slowly place that back down. Shift the weight, balance, raise the opposite knee. Staying tall through the spine, keep strong through that lower body, keep light and lifted through the upper body. And it's fine to have a little bit of a wobble, but again, make sure you're safe when you're doing this. If you get any pain in the ankles or anything, then you just stop. Just keep going with that very subtle weight shift. And notice how that calm breath keeps you balanced. Breathing in, breathing out. Notice how the lengthening of the upper body keeps you balanced. So if you're lengthening and lifting up to the sky, it's helping you. It's helping you keep tall. Couple more. Smoothly landing down. And then take a rest. Good. Again, shake out your arms, shake out your legs if you need to. But then just spend a moment standing tall, seeing how that feels. See if you feel any difference in that weight shift side to side now. Are you putting more weight to one side, more weight to the other side, or do you feel pretty even, that weight evenly distributed between both sides of the body? Good. Let's just finish off now with pulling down the heavens, and we'll do this pulling down the heavens in 6 directions. So remembering we're breathing in as we're bringing the arms up, keep the shoulders down, then we rotate as we breathe out, and then we breathe in overhead, and then breathe out as we're rotating back to the front. Remember, the breathing is just light and soft, so we're not taking big breaths, we're just letting the breath flow in naturally, letting the breath flow out softly. Breathing in. Keeping it soft. One more to each side. And then interlocking your thumbs, resting your hands on the lower belly, on the lower dantian, bringing the feet together. And just closing your eyes and giving yourself a nice few moments just allowing your body to rock and sway. Having in mind that combination of strength and softness. Allowing your body to find its natural balance, moving. And then just as and when you're ready, taking a calm, full breath in through the nose. Stepping out and opening your eyes. Giving yourself a little brush down, brushing the hands together. Head, arms. Just gentle, gentle brushing. Lower back, down the back and the side of the legs. Up the inside of the legs. Giving your tummy a rub. Good, we will finish there. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed that session. Hope you're feeling energized. We were chatting about the piano on Channel 4 in Zoom. So if anybody's watched that, or if anybody hasn't watched that, have a look at last night's one. It's really good. I know some of you are going out for a run. Enjoy going out for your runs. Enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of the day. And thanks for joining. Have a good weekend too. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.